I'm sorry I had to disconnect. I couldn't check the live to see if anyone could hear me, so I stopped it, checked it out, and okay, you guys can hear me really well. I do have a new mic. I haven't even taken it out of the box yet. I haven't even unpacked it yet, so I will be using that mic. And I have a turkey here that I just noticed something on him, like he's injured. They've probably been fighting, so I'm going to put some medication on him, give people time to come in, and then I'll be right back. So just enjoy the animals until I come right back. I'm just going to put some medication on one of my turkeys. Like I said, it looks like they've been fighting, so I don't want him to get infected or anything like that. So you'll get to see my turkey act up. I can do it later. Ah. Hey Swarmstead, how are you? Thank you for stopping by. Nothing to see. Just cleaning off these boxes and frames. I finally got one of my orders in today with like the scraper, bee brush, smoker. So I'm excited about that. That's pretty much all I'm doing right now is just cleaning off these hives. Let me move back so you guys can see what I'm doing. And you guys make sure you go and check out Swarmstead's channel. He's not only a beekeeper, but he actually catches swarms as well. So it's really cool to watch him. He has a lot of information. I'm actually learning a lot from his channel and what he does. He is one of the people who kind of gave me that push to become a beekeeper. Swarmstead did, so thank you for that, Swarmstead. It actually kind of gave me that push that I needed, or that confidence that I needed that I can do it to become a beekeeper. So shout out to him for that. Definitely shout out to him. I have been fascinated with bees since before I've known it. I don't think that I've ever been stung by a bee. I think that I've ever been stung. So that'll be interesting to see. I know I'm gonna get stung keeping bees, so it'll be interesting to see what that first sting is gonna feel like. Never been stung by a bee, but me being a gardener, just watching bees out in the wild, it did something to me. Like, everything about them is just completely fascinating. Everything about them is fascinating to watch them go from flower to flower, and you know they're pollinating. But that's one of the reasons why I wanted to keep bees, is for the pollination purposes, and assistance with pollination. So it's not necessarily just oh, these come off really easy. I thought it was going to be hard to kind of get these off, but they're coming off really easy. Honey is good. Who doesn't want honey? Who doesn't love fresh honey? And that's another thing that kind of gave me the push to become a beekeeper. It's because I went to a grocery store a couple of towns over, and going to that grocery store a couple of towns over, I actually found some locally sourced honey. And I've always gotten it's like Georgia Nate's honey. I've always purchased that kind of honey, but I don't think that's considered as fresh as this honey that I tasted. And it actually had an actual comb in it. You're welcome, Farmstead. It actually had a honeycomb in it, which is something that I had never seen before. So yeah, some beetles in here. Yeah. So I had never seen like an actual honeycomb. But when I tasted this honey, I'm like, yeah, I gotta start keeping bees. So while it's true, honey is good, I know, guys, and I'm doing it for the honey as well, but it's more for pollination purposes. It's really the main reason that I'm doing it, because everything that I have in my yard, as far as when I grow in the spring and the summer, squash, peas, beans, let's see, cucumbers, tomatoes. I am considering trying my hands in blueberries again. Growing out of the box. Make sure you follow his channel. I put him and Farmstead's links in the description box. I put them, and I'm also going to put them as additional channels on my page that you should follow. But growing out of the box, he just recently did a video about blueberries, and I'm thinking about trying my hand in blueberries again. All you really need is some beeswax, coat the plastic part, foundation. Okay, got it. I will put that on my Amazon list. I have a whole beekeeping list on Amazon, and I just had 2 books come in today. One was the Beekeeper's Problem Solver was one of them, and the other one, I'll run inside and get it in a minute. But I'm reading, like, I have 3 like bee books that I'm trying to finish, and 2 of them came in today. So that's why I say a lot of times people say you need to create a certain time that you're going to go live, or you need to create a certain time that you're going to do your videos. That's hard for me, because I think people forget how much I actually do. I do work full time. I work from home, but I do work full time. I have over 200 farm animals. I have to get my reading and everything in. I got like 3 or 4 different projects going on right now. And right now I'm doing it by myself until my husband retires and he can come down and be on the farm full time. So I have a lot of stuff I'm doing. I'm actually getting some more IT certifications. Let's see. My favorite book actually is Idiot's Guide to Beekeeping. Don't let the title fool you. Okay, I'll check that one out too. I'll put that on my list as well. But I'm actually getting a couple more certifications in IT. I was in the process of trying to learn Spanish, but I put Spanish on the back burner because I was trying to go up for a promotion on my job, and it would have been good to be bilingual. But I decided Spanish can wait. I got different kind of certifications that I can get because I can sell chicks and eggs and everything if I wanted to, but because I sell under an LLC, in Georgia's laws for selling poultry and eggs and everything is so strict that I want to do it the right way. I want to make sure that I do it the right way. So I have to take different classes and get certifications. Like, I'm halfway through my bee certification. Ginger, Mama, hey, Ginger. The turkeys are antagonizing Ginger, so sorry about the barking. But I'm halfway through my beekeeping certification. The crazy thing is, before you can get the master beekeeper certification, is you have to keep bees for a year before you get certified. So I've gone through the classes. They give you all the basics that you need to get started, and basically the class is like warning you about all the things that go into beekeeping to try to talk you out of it if you're really not made for it. And then you have to keep these for an additional year before you can get you have to take the test before you can get the actual full certification for it. So this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 frames. I think I'm gonna get one more frame for this one. I read, and Swarm said if you're still here, let me know. I read, and in the class we learned that 8 frames are sometimes better than 10. It can hold 10 frames in it, but I am going to just get maybe one more frame because it has 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and just let this be an 8 frame. Swarm said if you are still here, let me know if I should just go ahead and just fill it up with the 10 frames or do 8 frames. So let me know. But it has enough room for 8 frames. So I'm going to do this one next. And the guy said that his hive did get infested with some kind of beetles. Use 10. Okay, thank you. He said that his hive was infested with some kind of beetles. And I'm assuming if I can get one of these off. I mean, these things are glued on here good. Oh, goodness. Okay. I do have a frame thingy where you pull the frames out, but this is in here good. Okay, cool. So this is, from my understanding, this is where they put the queen. When you first get your queen, they put her in this little box or this little cage, which mine will be new unless it's an 8 frame. No, it's a 10 frame box. It's a 10 frame box. But I heard a lot of people talking about 8 frames, so I didn't know if they just put 8 frames in a 10 frame or just stick with a 10. But yeah, just to show you here, there are 7, to show you this one, there are 7 frames in this one, but it's a 10 frame box. So there's still room for 3 more frames, if you can see. Yeah, there's still room for 3 more frames in here because that's 7 in there. And this is the honey, the box, the top box for the honey. But of course, when I get my queen, she's going to be in her own little cage. But the queen, they give you the queen in this little box here. What are you doing, Eve? They give you the queen in this little box here. They put like candy or fondant in there, and the queen, and the queen also has a few worker bees in here when you first get your bees. And chime in anytime. You're the expert, Formstead, on Swarmstead. But they put a queen and a couple of worker bees in here. and they put like candy in the hole so the queen can't get out. She actually has to eat her way out. By the time that she eats her way out, the colony is used to her scent, used to her pheromones, used to her, and they stay around her. My understanding, if you just drop the queen in there with those bees, is that it's going to cause the bees to possibly attack her. So with her eating her way through this little box before she exits out into the entire hive, that's going to actually save your queen, and that's going to let your bees acclimate to her scent and know that that is their queen. So he actually left this box in here. I'm going to put it to the side just in case I ever need it for anything. But mine queen is going to come separately. But I want to show you what he was talking about. And I think that this is evidence of what he was saying. I know his swarm got taken out. He said he got sick and there were a lot of beetles that attacked his swarm. And I'm thinking that this is like residue from those beetles, because it looks like some kind of nests were made in here and maybe the beetles hatched out. That's what I'm thinking. And it looks like some insect frass or something like that in there. So yeah. But the guy that I got these from, he's like in his 70s, maybe even 80s. And he has a huge bee yard, huge bee yard. And he got sick and he stopped keeping bees. It became too hard. He wasn't able to tend to them anymore. But he did say that I kind of ignited his interest. That's wax moth damage. Thank you. Because I know it looks like it's something, some kind of nest or eggs or something, but he wasn't able to tend to his bees anymore, and his hives got overrun. And then after that happened, someone came. See, I'm glad I don't live in the city. Someone came. I don't know if you know if they do this, but in the South they have these, like, we call them mosquito trucks. Mosquito trucks, but we call them mosquito trucks. And they come out and they just spray the entire area with the spray that's supposed to control the mosquitoes. He lives outside of the city limits, and he lives on a dirt road like we do. But the people actually came and sprayed on his dirt road, so that kind of like took the rest of his bees out. Wax moth consume all the wax. Nature's cleanup crew. Ah, got it. So I'm assuming maybe the bees were already dead before they got in here, because yeah, you can see it looks like eggs have been laying and something has hatched out of it. That's what it looks like to me. But of course, I've been known to be wrong. But I'm excited about the beekeeping journey. I'm excited to learn. I know there are going to be a lot of mistakes. That's why I went with 2 packs of bees instead of just a 1 pack, because I know I'm probably going to make mistakes and I may actually lose a colony. You know, I know I'm going to make mistakes, but I'm trying to learn as much as I can before they get here. Going to try to do the best that I can, like with any of my animals. But I know sometimes you lose from your losses. You learn from your losses is what I meant to say. You learn from those losses. And though I don't want to lose any bees have short lifespans anyway. They do. But I'm hoping that I don't lose an entire colony. I have to get more boxes. I have to get more boxes, because I learned that beehives do not stay small. You can start off with 1 bee colony and end up with 10, because once they start outgrowing, they begin to swarm. So I got some lemongrass I got some lemongrass seeds, because I plan on growing lemongrass, and I'm going to set up a couple of swarm traps. Good thing is there are a lot of places where I live where they can swarm. Those are the cocoons developing. They should be gone by now. Okay, yeah. I believe they are, because like it seems like something Can I flip the camera around? No, I can't flip the camera around. It seems like something was laying and then hatched out because it has a little, like in the cocoons, or as you call them. It looks like they have like holes in them where something hatched out of them. But yeah, they definitely nothing here is alive. It's all residue, and I don't know how long these hives have been out there. The really cool thing is one of his hives, two of the hives, he actually built them himself using plastic, so because he got tired of replacing wood on his hives. So two of them are plastic, so that's a good thing, I think. But I'm learning. But back to swarming. Back to swarming. I have some stuff to set up some swarm traps because I keep hearing that these what is that? Hey Angel. These bees, you can end up with 10 hives before you even know it. I don't want to get that many. I think my limit may be about, I'm starting with that's the reason I got 3. I'm gonna have 2 colonies of bees. I decided to go with the Russian hybrid, the Russian cross, and that is a Russian and Italian bee cross. And they are, well, they say that they are locally bred and native to our area, but I found out via Swarm said that honeybees are not local to North America at all, so I can only say they are locally bred. Now, one interesting thing that I did find out about the Russian hybrid or the Russian cross breeds bees that I did get is there is a, Swarm said, please help me out. There is a pest when it comes to bees called the varroa mite. I think that's what it's called, varroa mite. And with this mite here, what it does is kind of like a flea on a dog. It kind of sucks the life and nutrients and everything out of the bee. Now, the new bees that they have nowadays, they actually are bred to detect the mite and will actually pick the mite off of other bees and fly the mite away. So that was something interesting that I think is new because I didn't learn about that in the class. And there was a person who actually tried to talk about it in the class, but the beekeeper like shut him down really fast. The instructor shut him down really fast. So I think this is something new with this Russian Italian hybrid breed of bees. But I also have been looking into ways to naturally control the varroa mite because from what I hear, that is one of the worst things that can happen to a colony. I've also been learning about robbing. When a colony gets weak, other bees come in and they rob the honey and kill the bee. It's just a lot. It is a lot of stuff that I am learning. And I thought that you just, hey, I got a bee. I got somewhere. Speaking of bee, there's a honeybee on me right there. I got a bee. I got some bees. I got a place for bees to live. I'm going to get some honey and we're done. But obviously not. I don't know if you guys can see that honeybee right there. Can you see it? Can you see it? Guess she heard me over here talking about them. But see, I'm not afraid of bees. Bees don't bother me at all. What did the person say and what did the instructor say? Okay, so the person, we were in the part of the course where he was talking about varroa mite defenses and how to fumigate your hive. And he was just telling everyone, make sure you wear a respirator because you fumigate them. And the guy started talking. He was like, well, if we're fumigating our hives for these mites, won't this taint our honey and won't this kill some of the bees? And he was like, yes, it might kill some of the bees if you leave it too long. We don't worry about it tainting the honey. You do it on the off season where the bees don't have a lot of honey and you won't have to worry about it tainting your honey. So the guy was like, well, I want to do it a more holistic way. I don't want to fumigate my hives. I don't want to risk killing my bees. So I hear there is a bee that you can actually purchase. It is a cross, and it would naturally get rid of the mites. The worker bees would go in and they would pick the mites out, and they would, fly them off way far away from the colony. And the instructor was like, nope, we don't talk about that. I don't know anything about that. Keep in mind, the instructor is an old school beekeeper that is probably maybe he was in Vietnam. So maybe 70s, 80s. So he is used to doing things the older way, but newer beekeepers are trying to get to the point that they are more you might have swarm scouts checking out your I was thinking about that. I'm like, man, do they see this? Are they looking for a new place to go? That would be so cool if I end up with a swarm in this equipment. That would be so cool. But that would also, because I'm gonna have two colonies, but I ended up getting a third one just for swarm reasons. So hey, if they come to take up residence, then I'm gonna be in trouble because my bee suit hasn't gotten here yet. But that would be so cool. But I did get an extra hive so that I could catch my first swarm when mine started to swarm. But that would be so awesome. And it's about time for them to start swarming here in Georgia as well. But yeah, the instructor just kind of shut it down because he's like, I don't know anything about that. So blah, blah, blah. Keep in mind, the person that started talking about these hybrid bees or these crosses has been interrupting the course the entire time, because every time the instructor said something, he was like, well, I follow XYZ on YouTube, and he said, and it was kind of like a boomer versus millennial type thing. Well, yeah, I think he's probably a millennial. Boomer versus millennial type thing. And yeah, but that's what I was told. The bees that I have, they actually naturally patrol for varroa mites. Bees are swarming in the southern states already. They are. Oh my god. Oh my god. And here's another one. Here's another one on the hive. Yeah, you might be right. I might need to go ahead and get this stuff. Oh, it just flew off. Oop. Yeah, I might need to go ahead and get this stuff prepared, because looks like that was the second one that I see, or it might have been the same one that just kind of flew back, but now it's on that box over there. So hey, yeah, let me get this stuff clean. But have you ever heard of that Swarmstead? Have you heard of bees that naturally patrol for the mites? They are called a Russian cross, which is a Russian and Italian mix. Now, the reason that I went with that breed is because just looking at the reviews and talking to different local beekeepers, they say that the Russian bee is very, very aggressive compared to the Italian, and the Italian is easily killed. They are not a good bee to have in this area. They are very finicky and they die off really easily. They can't fight anything off. They are robbed, all different types of things. Like, the Italians are weaklings, and so far those are the only two that I found locally, are the Italian and the Russian bees. Yeah, so it's a lot of work, but I don't mind doing it. And it just rained here, so some of the hives got wet because I didn't have them covered properly. But I will order some beeswax today, so hopefully it'll be here by the weekend. Well, it's Wednesday, so if I order it from Amazon today, well, I have it sent to our house in the city, because now that I live out here, I cancel my Amazon Prime. Nothing comes in 2 days out here. Everything that I order is 5 days or more out here. And I'm like, man, I'm paying for Prime and I can't get my stuff in 2 days. So I might as well go ahead and cancel my Prime. So I need to get my husband to. Our wedding anniversary is next weekend, so my husband will be down next weekend, and I'm gonna get him to do some things to some of these frames because we're gonna have to replace some of these boards here at the top. Well, it still fits, but it kind of looks like they've been chewed on. So, and I'm gonna leave these frames to dry out in the sun. I'm gonna have to paint anyway, so that's what I'm ready to do. I'm ready to start painting. I'm ready to see the vision come. Okay. I never do any treating for mites. What survives, survives. Calling bees Italian or Russian or anything else is pretty much a gimmick. No one has purebred bees. Bee sellers used. Ah, got it. That makes sense because I always wondered if. Now, help me out with this, Swarmstead. If the queen goes off on a mating voyage to this big yard where all these drone bees or male bees are, how do they know what that queen has been mated with unless they specifically mate that queen themselves? That's what I was wondering about. That's the question that I have. Like, when it comes to the genetics of a bee, if the queen flies off on her mating voyage, how do you know what bees or what type of bees she's actually mated with? Is there just one type of bee in these mating? I just, that confuses me, but that makes perfect sense because they do the same thing in the chicken world with newbies. They have the Americanas, which is a rare chicken that a lot of people want that lays a blue egg. So what they do is they market the Americana. They spell it differently. And if you don't know any better, you're thinking you're getting this rare chicken, but you're just getting a mutt that may give you a blue egg. Usually will give you a green or a brown egg. But it's marketing. And I figured that when you told me that the bees aren't native to North America, I'm like, yeah, it's probably just a marketing tactic that they have. So, but yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited about it. I'm not scared. Bees don't scare me. Um, the only thing that I'm really afraid of is just kind of failing. They all crossbreed. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, I got it. I got it. That makes sense because I'm like, I'm listening to this class and I'm reading these books and I'm like, okay, if they actually, if they go flying off on this maiden voyage to have their wild oats sown, for lack of a better word, and you're not actually following that bee, how do you know what bee it mated with? Hey y'all, you've been fighting. You've been fighting. You need medication. I'm gonna have to put something on that. Y'all can't keep fighting. I'm gonna have to separate y'all in pens if you keep fighting, and I don't want to do that. But y'all can't keep fighting and injuring each other. Hey, Sweet Pea, where you going? Hi. Really? Hi. Hi. Y'all are hilarious. But yeah, I'm excited. That the only thing that I'm afraid of is failing. That's really the main thing that I'm afraid of. Um, Luckily, I know. Okay, there's an airplane. Okay, y'all should be used to seeing them by now. Yeah, I heard the queen. I heard the queen gets down. Yeah, it's like bee after bee after bee that the queen actually mates with. So yeah, I wondered about that, but um, I'm not the type of person when I'm in a class to just ask a bunch of questions. I just try to give the person time to cover it. And if we don't get to it, we don't get to it. There are a lot of videos that I watch and everything, but I need to let these dry out. It's just an airplane. Okay. Yeah, these little wax moths, they really did a number on this thing. They're all kind of residue from the cocoons left over. Yeah, I hopefully when I get my certification, I can start doing more swarms. From my understanding, you don't actually have to have a license or anything to be able to go out and catch swarms. This one guy says he catch swarms and he doesn't have any gloves or gear or anything, and I'm like, won't be me. And I've seen you guys on YouTube doing the same thing. It's a woman. God, what is her name? I follow her. I can't think of her name, but she has the most soothing voice in the world, and she goes around and catches swarms as well. And she doesn't ever have on any gear. Never has on any gear. I don't know if I ever get to that point, but they usually say when bees are swarming, that's when they are pretty docile, when they're swarming. So, don't know how true that is, but that's what they say. But homesteading is a dream. It really is. It's a lot of work, but it is definitely a dream. I always say I thank God, and I thank Him for blessing my husband, and my husband for blessing me. It's a struggle sometimes, being in two different homes. But absence makes the heart fonder. And I thought that I wouldn't be able to. I've been wanting to homestead since I can remember. Like, I remember being a kid watching Little House on the Prairie. And I always thought about, if you activate your caption, I can understand what you are saying. Okay. Let's see if I can figure out how to do that. Let's see. I don't see how to do that. Well, on the next live, I'll make sure that I activate my captions. I've never had to do that before, but I make sure I activate my captions the next time. But I don't know how to do that, and you can't understand me. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. But I remember growing up, we used to watch like Little House on the Prairie, and I wanted to live that kind of lifestyle. That's all. Like, even the way they dress with the long dresses and everything. Then I started going to a church, a holiness church, and the women, they only wore dresses and everything. And I'm like, man, this is so cool. And like they made their own bread, and they had a wood stove and everything like that. It's like the house that my dad was born in is still on the property. So to go in there and see like the wood stove and the fireplace and everything, it is so awesome. It's so awesome. And I really thought, I was like, I'm not going to be able to homestead or live this life or get out of the city until I retire. But through prayer, God blessing my husband, and now it's happening. We have a long way to go. We have a very long way to go. I've only been doing this. I got my first 6 chickens. There's another bee, or like I said, it could be the same bee. My first 6 chickens, February 3rd of 2023. So I've only been doing this for Less than a year. Right at a year now. And when I tell you guys, it's gotta run. Take care. Thank you for stopping by, Swarmstead. You guys make sure you follow Swarmstead. I'm actually going to put a link to his channel in the description of this video. I'm about to leave myself. I'm about to go off live. I try to have my videos only about 30 to 40 minutes long, always under an hour, and only because when people try to come back and re-watch it, I don't want someone trying to rewatch. No one's gonna watch a video for, you know, at least an hour long, maybe 30 minutes. So I'm about to end it myself. I'm gonna keep working. I'll do a short later today, show you guys how far I've gotten, since we may possibly have swarm scouts. I am going to try to finish this up today and at least get one full box completed and painted today. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Even if I have to move over some of the frames, like this is a 10 frame box, it only has 7, but I can take 3 frames from that box, well, that one right there, and put them inside this one. So we'll make it happen just in case they are getting ready to swarm, and a swarm does take up residency here. So I'm in Georgia. That's where I am. I'm in Georgia. Yep, I am in Georgia. So I'm about to end the live. I just want to come chit chat a little bit with you guys. Like I said, I try to keep the shorts really long. Swarmstead is leaving, so that was my bee expert. That was my bee expert. So I'm actually going to head out myself. Hopefully one day I'm going to reach out to Swarmstead. He's gone now, and see if he will do a live with me. And answer some questions. But you guys, if you want to know anything about beekeeping, go and check out Swarmstead's channel. And it's just like, it's Swarmstead, what's the full name? Swarmstead Bees and Gardening. He has chickens, he has a garden. Yeah, we recently cleared the land because there was nothing here. It was like absolutely nothing here but trees when we first cleared the land. When we cleared the land, it's a lot of clay soil. So grass started growing, but water, the way our house sits, water was actually like washing up against our house. So we had to have them come out again, and they dug up a large portion. It was a couple of months ago. They dug up a large portion of the land and has it to where the water just goes around our house, and it goes down to where the pond, it flows into the creek, which flows into the pond, and that keeps the water from, you know, washing on our house and wearing like the foundation under our house down. So that's why it looks like that. There's no grass. Once the grass starts growing again, it won't look like a desert. Like this part right here probably always will, because this is where the chickens and everything are. But on the other side, hopefully it'll be full of grass. The bad thing is we want to put out like grass seeds, but we can't because of the birds. If we put any seeds out, I mean, you guys saw what they did to the garden. We put any seeds out, then the birds are actually going to eat any grass seeds or anything like that. We put any, like even if we try to put pallets out, they're going to eat it before it takes root. So that's why it looks like a desert here. We recently had a lot of the land built. We had to have the well dug, so they had to dig up a lot of pretty deep hole there. The well was like right up there. Septic was dug over there. When they put the fiber cables out, it was just, it's a lot of work. The land was completely desolate when we got out here. So that's why it looks like that. And we've actually been here, you know, a year. We've only been here a year. So make sure you guys follow, like, comment, and share. I never ask, well, I don't ask you guys for cash apps or anything like that. I just don't feel comfortable doing that. But if you want to help the channel, just make sure you just leave a like and comment and let YouTube know that you like this comment. Like after the live is over, leave a comment, even if it's just a heart emoji, so more people will get to see it. And that would definitely help this channel out. It would help the channel grow. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. And as usual, toodaloo, bye-bye.